Welcome back to another video. I'm Jen Palco. Today we're going to get into face reading, the ancient art of Chinese face reading. Now, there are a lot of psychics and stuff out there who, do palm reading, face reading, stuff like that. But what I'm going to talk about here, kind of give you a little gist of, is the ancient art of Chinese face reading. Now, this has been used for many, many, many years in China, and it's actually used as a way to diagnose somebody or diagnose a patient to see not only what kind of personality traits they have, but also to diagnose disease in the body, to diagnose disease. So we're going to give you just an overall picture of what to look for when you're doing face reading or ancient face reading. The first thing is to look at both sides of the face, okay? So in Chinese medicine, you have the yin side and the yang side of the face. So the right side of the face is the yin side, and this has to do more with, it's more of an unemotional side. So it's like our public mask. It is what we show to the world around us. Okay, so, and the left side of our face is the yang side. And the yang side are basically repressed emotions or how we truly feel about a situation. So the right side is how we are perceived to the world, our public mask. And the left side, the yang side, is what we truly feel inside. So if you want to see if somebody is trustworthy or really know who somebody is, then look more on the left side of their face, because the left side of their face is going to reveal who they truly are. So it's interesting because we live in a society that is mostly right hand dominant, right eye dominant. So we often look at the right side of people's faces. And what our brain does, it just assumes that the right side matches the left. So it doesn't even look at the left side. It just looks at the right side, which is our public mask and how we're perceived to the world. So we don't truly know who somebody is unless we really pay attention to both sides of the face. So the best thing to do is take a photograph of somebody and compare the two sides. And compare the two sides. You might have heard this before if they've done computer composites of the two different sides of the faces, and if they did match just the left side and have both sides symmetrical and just the right side, the person would look completely different, because both sides of our faces have very subtle differences that we don't notice when we look at people or even look at ourselves. So the two sides of the face, if you really want to see who somebody is deep down, and what they're actually, what type of emotions they're feeling or repressed emotions, then look at the left side of the face. Look at the left side of the face. Also, somebody who has a lot of repressed emotions, you may notice they have deeper cracks on the left side of their face or more wrinkles on that side. So that is a key as well. So a lot of these concepts are from the book Face Reading in Chinese Medicine by the author Lillian Bridges, who has studied face reading for a very long time, and she's an acupuncturist as well. And so I'm giving you the gist of some of the concepts from this book. The next important feature to notice when you look at somebody's face are the eyes. So in Chinese medicine, the eyes are like the gateway into the soul. If you've ever seen anybody who is like a serial killer or somebody who has psychiatric problems, if you look in their eyes, you often see that they have just a vacant look in their eyes. And this is what Chinese call the Shen, or the spirit, because the eyes reflect the spirit and what's going on internally. So if the eyes are vacant, then that person is often vacant, or they're not completely with it. And so healthy eyes have a sort of shine to them. You can really tell when somebody has a magnetic personality or somebody who you're very attracted to. You can look into the eyes and you see that there's a lot of zest, there's a lot of vigor to the eyes. They don't look just blank, they don't look cloudy, they look very, very healthy and very clear and bright. So this means often that the person's spirit is clear and bright as well. So the eyes You can also look at the shape of the eyes. So larger eyes, bigger eyes are usually associated with somebody who might be more emotional or more expressive, whereas small eyes or squinty eyes, the person may have more trust issues. So you can look at the shape of the eyes as well. Not only look at if the eyes are shining, if have vigor and zest to them and clarity to them, but also look at, whether the person has large or smaller eyes, and this can give you a cue as well. You can look at the cheeks as well, sadness lines which go down the cheeks. Oftentimes you may see them more on the left side of somebody's face if they do have more of those repressed emotions that aren't getting out. Those are sadness lines. If the cheeks are hollow, they look hollowed out, then this could indicate that it could indicate a person's how their function of their immune system is. So it could mean that they're stressed or overworked or just exhausting themselves if they have hollowed out cheeks. Crow's feet on the sides of the eyes. This can be associated a lot with somebody who smiles and laughs a lot, so that's a good thing. The other thing is the mouth, the corners of the mouth. So not somebody who's smiling, but you can see the corners of the mouth. Somebody may have a little upturn, an uplift at the corners. So almost like the Mona Lisa painting, which Lillian Bridges mentions in the book, how she's not smiling, but you can kind of sense that she has positive qualities, optimistic qualities to it, rather than like a pessimistic attitude. And she seems more uplifting because she has the corners of her mouth are a little uplifted. Whereas somebody who has downturned, they're not like completely frowning, but very subtle downturn. This person might be more on the pessimistic side. They might be more cynical on their outlook in life. The chin shows the will of the person. So the stronger, more prominent chin, usually the more will that person has. Eyebrows. The thicker the eyebrows could determine whether that person has a temper, aggressive issues, whereas thinning eyebrows could be even somebody who's more on the passive side, or could be somebody who has adrenal issues or has issues with thyroid, if you've ever seen people have like half the eyebrow. So you can also tell a lot about somebody by looking at 3 zones of their face. So you have 3 zones. You have the uppermost zone, which is from here to here, the uppermost forehead, which is known as the mental zone. So if you see somebody who has a dominant mental zone, like a big forehead, they might be an overthinker. They usually take a lot of time to decide because they need to think it through, and they might be indecisive about things. So they are in their head a lot and need to think things through before making a decision. The second zone of the face is known as the practical zone. So this includes the eyebrows, the eyes, and the nose. So about here. So these types of people, if you see somebody who has a big nose or their dominant features are in this middle zone here, in their practical zone, they have a lot of common sense. They don't like when people waste time and energy or waste money on things. They like to save money and time, and they live on a more practical basis. And the third zone is known as the emotional or instinctual zone, and this is the bottom zone here, the mouth and the chin. This is somebody who is more impulsive in nature, so they do things because they want to do things. They, unlike the thinker, the mental zone, they don't think things through all the time. They're more impulsive with their decisions, and they just go for it. They just go for it. They don't overhash it or think it too much. Sometimes they don't use common sense, but that is who they are. So if somebody has a large chin, a large mouth, then you see that that is their dominant zone. Then this could tell you what type of personality or what type of person that is. So look for the dominant zone in people. And just because somebody has a dominant zone doesn't mean that they don't possess the other traits, because they do. It just might be a little more difficult for somebody, say, in the thinking mental zone who has, a large forehead. It might be more difficult for them to make a quick decision in their life. Whereas somebody who's very impulsive, it might be difficult for them to sit on something for a long time because they start getting a little edgy with things. You can also look at face shapes. So somebody who has a broader shape, who is more, their larger bone structures in their face, this is somebody who has a tendency to have more stamina. They have more physical energy to them, rather than somebody who has more of a narrow face, where they might be have more of a thinner frame to their bone structure. That person could be a little weaker, or they get depleted a little bit easier because they don't have the physical strength as somebody who has the larger features. Facial hair. On a lot of guys, facial hair, beards, it could mean that they're actually covering something up about their lives, or they don't want to reveal something. So not always, but it's something to be aware of. If somebody has facial hair, or a woman has bangs that cover, most of her forehead, she could be trying to cover something up or hide something. All right, the next thing are the ears. So large ears can indicate somebody who's more of a risk taker, whereas smaller ears can indicate somebody who is a little more cautious. Large earlobes could be somebody who is focused on planning their future, whereas small earlobes could be somebody who is more into the now and focusing just on the present moment rather than the future. So those are just a few ways that you can evaluate somebody's personality through face reading. There's a lot more to this, guys. It's so in depth. There's courses on it where you can really become an expert in Chinese face reading, and it's so interesting to me because you can tell not only about somebody who they truly are, but also physical issues for people, physical ailments they might have that you wouldn't even see necessarily. It also requires you to take the time to really pay attention to people's faces. So it's not like a one-time deal. You're just going to look at a photograph and be able to tell everything about that person. A lot of it is practical and going out and really paying attention to somebody's features. But if you could look at the overall aspect of it, I would look at the 3 zones of the faces, see which one is most dominant, and also the sides of the face. So the yin and the yang side. So the right side, like I said, the yin side, which is the public mask, okay? And then the person's left side, which is where you truly want to look more so, because the left side, the yang side, will reveal who that person truly is, or what kind of emotions they're feeling internally that they may not be revealing to the world. Repressed emotions, in a sense, who that person truly is. So I hope this was helpful today, guys. Let me know in the comments section below. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Other than that, I hope everyone has a great day, okay?